Alright, so we're gonna be leaving Denison here later today, but I wanted to show you guys the old Katy Railroad Depot. This one, I believe, was built either in the late 1800s or in the early 1900s, if I remember correctly. And it hasn't, from my understanding, been used as an actual passenger station since Amtrak took over. I don't think Amtrak ever even came through here. As far as I know, the nearest Amtrak line is the one that runs on the nearby Santa Fe line. But yeah, this is the old Katy Depot. They restored this one, I want to say, in the 80s, 1985, when I was reading. And it looked like, I gotta remember, I think Katy was absorbed into UP by the early 80s. So now, all the line over here that was once Katy line, what's left of it is owned and run by Texas Northeastern Railroad, small class 2 company. And so far, the only things here really is just a bunch of shops inside the building and offices. They don't even use it as for anything railroad related anymore, as far as I know. But aside from the depot itself, the biggest thing is, Guten Morgen, this F9 unit, 3 cabooses and 2 oil tankers. This is something you don't really get to see often. This is unit 401-B, or /B. Along with caboose units 1021, 141, and I can't read the other one. Got an old signal box over there. I believe that's one of the old rail sheds right over there. Let's see, what does this say? Oh, that's an old crossing, an old cross sign. Usually if you're walking the tracks and you see this, or if you're a rail employee and you see this, normally you're supposed to toot your horn, blow your horn when you see it. Otherwise, I think you can actually get in trouble. Look at all this. I was here 6 or 7 years ago, back in 2017, and it's still amazing seeing all this here. There's a rare one right here. Unit 13731. I've been in these ones before. These are actually pretty cool. Small, very minimalist if you were to live in it. These are what oil tankers used to look like. This one and the one in the back. I don't know what's in this old car over here. Let's see what it is. Look at that, they got a tree growing right there. Let's see. That looks like an old crossing box. These are just oil drums. Dude, if I saw this back in the Depression era, and I was hoboing at that time period, and I saw it like this, I'd be scared. There's an oil tanker. I think this one looks older, or at least more used. There's the serial numbers right down there. And then this, if I remember correctly, Cooter's gonna kick my ass because I'm supposed to remember all this crap. But this was normally on the back of those crew cars, the ones, with the pump handles, and they later on turn them into diesel, which I actually think that's what that is. Because of the track right here and yeah. I don't think the train's gonna be leaving anytime soon, backing up. From what I remember, the farthest track over there towards that trailer dead ends about 3/4 of a mile down the track, and then this over here, I think, if I remember correctly, I think these two tracks, I want to say this is the one that interchanges with Santa Fe down the track, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Looks like there's another building over there. And there's the Katy depot. Passenger service, for the most part, stopped with everyone except for, as far as I remember, 4 or 5 companies back in '71. Amtrak was the one that took over. And after that, from my understanding at least, was a lot of the stations were still used for freight and office use, but the ones that were just passenger only and the really small ones were usually either donated or torn down, sadly, which was the fate with the stations in Lufkin, which I did a video on that. I'm just happy to see this one still standing. Though, honestly, I wish they would move the Rail Museum over here, because they put it downtown, and it doesn't make sense. It'd make more sense if this was the Rail Museum, and not the other way around, but what do I know? Oh, hey, there's a sign right over there. One of those historical markers. Let's go check it out. Okay. It says North-South Railway Connection, December 24th, 1872. Missouri, Kansas, Texas, known as the Katy Railroad train carrying 100 passengers arrived here in the newly established railroad town of Denison. So 1872, that's probably when, I don't know if that's when that station was actually built, but it's whatever. Its arrival marked the culmination of years of effort by the Katy to construct a rail line from the border of Kansas and the Indian Territory, now Oklahoma, south to the Red River and into Texas. The Katy earned this lucrative right-of-way by being first in a national competition to construct a rail line from St. Louis south to the Indian Territory. Several months later, the heralded connection of the nation's first north-to-south rail service west of the Mississippi River was established when a Texas Central Railroad train pulled into Denison from the south on March 10th, 1873. A brief ceremony to commemorate the occasion, Denison Mayor L.S. Owings addressed a small crowd by reading the contents of a telegram he had dispatched to Galveston, Houston, New York, Boston, Chicago, St. Louis, and San Francisco, proclaiming his town's new role as a key link in the nation's network of rail lines, which, if you saw the map, what this place used to look like back in its heyday, there was rail lines everywhere. With this connection, passengers and shippers could depend on continuous rail passage from the Texas Gulf Coast, where the Texas Central originated, through Denison to St. Louis, where rail linkages extended north to Chicago, east to New York, and west of San Francisco. And this one was established in 1993. So I think it would be pretty cool to see something passenger related, even if it's just like monthly excursion trains. That would be nice. Because I highly doubt they would let Amtrak come through here. I think what would really be cool, I remember as a child when I was living in San Angelo, South Orient used to do, not only did they do the the Christmas trains and such, but they also did every now and then, very rarely, they would add a passenger car to the end of the train, and that would be they ran it kind of like an excursion. I think they only did it a few times, but I know other companies used to do that too. And I think that would actually be a pretty good idea to bring something like that back. I mean, I know they're going to claim maintenance and money and stuff like that, but I think I think the problem is a lot of these companies, especially the heads of the companies, just don't want to do it. I think they're just, as me and Cooter put it, they're just greedy. Excuse me. Conductor, when's the next train? Donka. Well, that's the Katy Depot. I think it's time for us to get out of here.